You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? That's what Uber is all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way. So you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.
Reality radio for a really great future. We're talking real money.
Hi, I'm Tom Cock. You know, recent market fluctuations, the pardon of a very well-known financier, and other things with stocks sometimes leave some of you believing that this game of investing is rigged against you. Now, this is something I've heard for a long time in my life. My mother was a very bright person. By the way, next week would be celebrating her 95th birthday, should she still be alive. But she used to say the system of investing is rigged against the small investor. That sort of undercurrent is still out there. You feel it, you hear it. Sometimes people even bring it up. And it brings to mind a very well-known skit from Saturday Night Live 20 years ago now that was mocking a Charles Schwab commercial where a representative was saying stocks go up, stocks go down, but over the long haul, stocks go up. And then someone asked him about his own portfolio and stocks. He said, well, I haven't owned stocks in years. I'm the wrong guy to ask. That turns out to be a lie, etc. But if you listen to the audience, the live audience reaction to that, there's some nervous titters there. There's a little bit of, is this real? Is this fake? Because still people believe that the system in some ways is rigged against them when it comes to investing. And then things happened a couple of weeks ago, which I had intended to talk about, but then we have all these market fluctuations. The pardon of Micheal Milkin. Now, those of you who don't remember Mr. Milkin, he is recognized as the father of the junk bond, the guy that created this type of security that you could float and then you could buy out these companies and you would really be rich. And it turned out he didn't go to prison for insider trading. He went to prison for reasons close to that, where he sort of went to people and said, look, I could buy up a certain percentage of the stock using this junk bond, et cetera, and used information that was not available to the public to do so. And recently, President Trump pardoned him. And some people, again, said, well, there you go. There's the rich getting richer. And by the way, that inference is the rest of us are getting poorer. That, market fluctuations, and again, just this overall feeling of the big money really runs things. So what do you do if you're an investor? Well, you could not invest in stocks, right? I mean, that's one way to protect yourself. You could just own real estate, for example. And real estate, residential real estate, has returned just a smidge more than inflation coast to coast over a very long period of time. Stocks have done about 6.5% a year over inflation for a very long time. So I don't think that's the way to do it. But I think a smarter way is to do this. Number one, buy index mutual funds, because there is fraud in companies. There always is. Money's involved, easy money. People are going to lie. They might even look right in your face. I'm shocked when I watch American Greed, these friends and family they lie to take their money. It happens. So if you buy an index fund or similar where you own thousands of companies, some of those may be fraudulent, but most of them are really operating inside the lines, and you can probably trust them, which brings me to number two. That is, put everything in your favor, and that means keeping your costs low. If you use index or index-like mutual funds, well, your costs are low. You're not paying a lot to others for the pleasure of investing. And that brings me to number three, which I think is probably the most important point, and an error I see people make regularly. And that is, don't chase ideas, hot stocks, or gimmicks. There's all kinds of gimmicks. I hear the radio ads out there. You can make way more than the market and no downside risk because this is an inside plan that Walt Disney used to get rich, et cetera. Don't use gimmicks. If there's anything I see regularly that leads to fraud, it is chasing a hot idea or a gimmick, and you think this is going to be an easy way to make money. The right way to make money is to take advantage of the growth of profitability of companies, economies, widely diversify, keep your costs low, know your tolerance for risk. You've heard all this before. And tune out what happens day to day, because those fluctuations can make it hard on you as well. I'm Tom Cock.
Talking real money. We hope you realize that the information provided on Talking Real Money is for educational and hopefully enjoyable purposes only. Providing personalized financial planning or investing advice takes time, so please consult with a really good fee-only fiduciary investment, tax, or legal advisor. We know a good one. Investing must always involve risk. In other words, you can and probably will lose money at times. Also, as much as you want it, no one can accurately, consistently predict the future. So past performance doesn't tell you a darn thing about what the future will bring. Unlike many other programs that say something similar, Talking Real Money is not trying to get you to buy or sell any financial products or securities. Instead, the program is provided as a public service by Vestry, a fee-only registered investment advisor. Thanks for listening, and please visit talkingrealmoney.com for more information and disclosures. That should keep the lawyers happy.